Hi everyone, welcome to our course ECLV 3143 Art and Creativity Activities in Early Childhood Education. This will be our first unit for this course, Unit 1, Understanding Creativity. To effectively understand the learning outcomes of this unit, let's break down the key areas we'll cover. First, we'll explore the different domains of child development. These are crucial for understanding how children grow and learn in various aspects of their lives. Next, we'll discuss some important theories of artistic development. We'll look at the ideas from Kellogg, Lowenfeld, and Britton, which provide insights into how children's art evolves as they grow. We'll also summarize the stages of artistic development from birth to age 8, using Robert Schermacher's sequence. This will help us see the progression of skills and creativity in young children. Finally, we'll discuss how creativity links to intelligence. This relationship can help us appreciate the role of creativity in overall cognitive development. These topics will give us a strong foundation for understanding how children express themselves and grow through art and creativity. Let's start by understanding domains of child development. Child development encompasses various domains that illustrate how children grow and change over time. Physical domain involves gross motor skills, e.g., running, and fine motor skills, e.g., writing, as well as perceptual motor skills, sensory development, health, and self-care. Social domain focuses on children's relationships and their ability to interact and communicate with peers and adults. Emotional domain encompasses self-perception, emotional expression, personality, and temperament, which are vital for managing emotions. Cognitive domain covers thinking, problem-solving, language, and learning, reflecting how children understand the world. Creative domain involves original thinking, imagination, and expression, essential for innovative thought. These interconnected domains provide a comprehensive view of child development, aiding in effective support for children's growth. In this slide, we're focusing on the concept of a holistic model of child development. This model emphasizes the importance of viewing child development as an interconnected web, rather than isolated categories. The holistic approach suggests that physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and creative domains of development are all interlinked. This means that progress or challenges in one area can influence others. For example, a child's emotional well-being can impact their ability to learn and socialize. By understanding development holistically, we can better support children in reaching their full potential. This approach allows us to tailor our educational and developmental strategies to nurture all aspects of a child's growth. Art activities help children develop gross motor skills through physical engagement. For example, painting on an easel uses their arms and upper bodies, strengthening large muscles. Working with clay exercises hand muscles, enhancing control over tools like writing instruments. As gross motor skills improve, children refine fine motor skills, such as cutting and using smaller brushes, which is essential for their overall physical development. Today, we explore scissoring skills in child development, which enhances eye-hand coordination and visual acuity. Scissoring involves rhythmic movements that empower children. Here are guidelines to support learning. Start simple with tearing paper. Use pliable materials like thin Play-Doh. Practice snipping to refine skills. Progress to cutting complex shapes. Children can rest the bottom scissor blade on a table to make it easier to cut. Developing these skills is vital for fine motor skills and coordination, so encourage interaction and share experiences. Art activities support physical and social development in young children by fostering interaction and self-discovery. Key benefits include comfort with personal abilities, collaboration enhancing imagination and social skills, learning to share, take turns, and provide feedback, establishing respect through rules and cleanup routines, offering an outlet for emotional expression. These emphasize the significance of social skills in child development. Art plays a vital role in children's emotional development by providing a pleasurable experience for expressing feelings such as happiness and pride. It serves as a nonverbal outlet for conveying deep emotions, helping children articulate thoughts that may be difficult to express verbally. Art allows exploration of fantasy, fostering creativity in a low-stress environment while enhancing social skills and boosting confidence. Encouraging art in children's lives significantly supports their emotional growth and resilience. Teachers play a crucial role in promoting children's involvement in art activities by providing individual materials and workspace to maintain enthusiasm, allowing exploration and creation of multiple products to enhance creativity, Using materials like Play-Doh for emotional engagement. Focusing on child-centered, open-ended activities that ensure success. Limiting choices to avoid overwhelm and foster focused creativity. These strategies empower children to express themselves artistically, supporting emotional development and encouraging lifelong creativity. Cognitive development is enhanced through art in a child's learning journey. Creating art engages memory, imagination, and observation, reflecting a child's experiences and perceptions. Children with diverse backgrounds can express their understanding of the world through their artwork. Additionally, art teaches fundamental concepts like color, shape, and texture, which are essential for grasping more complex ideas and improving skills like reading comprehension and problem solving. Ultimately, art connects imagination with knowledge, helping children explore and understand their world meaningfully. Let's explore the fascinating world of creativity in young children. Creativity starts in infancy, as babies invent solutions and engage in novel actions. It involves mental processes guiding children to arrange lines and shapes symbolically, linked to their imagination. Art allows children to express unique perspectives, encouraging discovery and exploration, essential for nurturing creativity. Fostering creativity means giving children the freedom to explore and express themselves, preparing them to be innovative thinkers and problem solvers in the future. Theories of artistic development. Theories of artistic development provide insights into how children create art and guide their learning. They fall into 6 categories: physical, emotional, perceptual, cognitive, general developmental, and cognitive developmental, each offering a unique perspective on skill development. Understanding these theories helps highlight the value of art for children and informs the creation of age-appropriate activities to nurture their creativity. When we talk about the physical explanation for how children develop their art skills, we focus on their bodies and how they grow. Young children are still learning how to control their hands and fingers. Their eye-hand coordination and small muscle skills are just starting to develop. Because of this, their drawings might look like scribbles or shapes that we can't recognize. It's important to remember that these early drawings are a normal part of their growth. They might seem simple or messy, but they are essential steps in learning how to create art. Today, we're examining how children's art reflects their emotions and personalities. Kids often express significant feelings through their creations, like drawing a dad as a superhero, which reveals admiration and love. Art serves as a window into a child's heart and mind, helping us understand their feelings better. Remember, children's art tells a deeper story beyond just pictures. Today, we're exploring how children's art development reflects their perception of the world rather than literal sight. Perception is influenced by brain structure, personality, and prior learning. Drawing 3-dimensional objects on paper is challenging, even for adults. Children begin with simple scribbles, but their art evolves into more detailed representations, showcasing their developing perceptual skills. This progression demonstrates the significant role of perception in art from a young age. The cognitive explanation for child art emphasizes how a child's intelligence and concept formation impact their artwork. Children draw from memories and experiences, reflecting their knowledge and misunderstandings in their art. Concept formation and observation are interlinked. Greater knowledge leads to noticing more details, enhancing learning. This cognitive approach provides insight into how children process information through art. Goodenough's Draw a Man test, now known as the Draw a Person test, measures intelligence through children's drawings of human figures. Clear and accurate representations may indicate higher intelligence. However, this approach overlooks individual differences influenced by experiences, feelings, and environment. It's essential to consider these unique factors to gain a comprehensive understanding of each child's abilities. This slide explores how children's art skills develop, factoring in social, cultural, and environmental influences along with traditional theories. Key points include recognizing development stages to set appropriate growth goals, planning age-appropriate art programs, enhancing communication with parents about their child's progress. Flexibility and support are crucial, as each child is unique, and developmental stages should guide rather than limit our approach. Today, we explore Kellogg's research on children's art, analyzing over 1 million global drawings. She identified 20 basic scribble patterns as foundational for future art, detailing the progression from scribbling to pictorial drawing. By age 3, children start using basic shapes, and Kellogg found that children's drawings worldwide are similar, reflecting their knowledge rather than their observations. She compared these stages to primitive art, highlighting the universal patterns and the natural progression in children's artistic development. The scribble stage in children's artistic development involves making marks with hands and art materials, focusing on exploration rather than perfection. Children start with simple shapes like dots and lines, progressing to more complex scribbles such as zigzags and spirals. These marks are crucial for developing hand control, movement, and self-expression. Teachers should provide appropriate materials and allow individual development, recognizing that scribbling is a meaningful early step in artistic growth, leading to more organized and meaningful expressions as children gain experience. The placement stage occurs around ages 2 to 3, where children's scribbling becomes more controlled. They start to focus on where they place their marks rather than randomly scribbling. Key placements include all over, scribbles spread across the paper. Central, marks concentrated in the center. Bottom, top, marks primarily at the bottom or top. Diagonal, scribbles move from corner to corner. Right, left, marks focused on one side or moving across. Top, bottom quarter, concentrated in specific sections. This stage shows children's developing control and awareness of space. Teachers should provide ample space for exploration without expecting recognizable artwork, as this fosters control and coordination through the art experience. The shape stage occurs around age 3, where children's scribbles evolve into more organized marks, forming simple shapes. Initially, shapes may be unclear, but children gradually gain control, producing recognizable diagrams like circles, crosses, squares, triangles, and odd forms. For example, a child may transition from overlapping lines to a clear circle. This stage marks a developmental shift toward better control in shape creation, though children may not yet represent real objects. Teachers should provide materials for practice and encourage exploration rather than expecting perfection, emphasizing the organization and recognition of shapes. The pictorial stage, typically seen in children aged 4 to 5, marks a shift from scribbles to organized drawings resembling recognizable objects. This stage has two phases. Early pictorial. Children combine simple shapes and lines to represent familiar items, though drawings may remain simplistic. Later pictorial. Drawings become more detailed and recognizable, including features like eyes and body parts. Children's artwork reflects their understanding of real objects and experiences. Teachers should encourage discussions about their drawings, focusing on meaning rather than exact realism. The key point is that children create recognizable pictures that convey personal significance. Kellogg's stages of drawing the human figure outline a child's progression from simple marks to recognizable figures. Stage 1. Scribbling. Children explore movement and control tools with simple scribbles. Stage 2. Drawing a single shape. They create basic shapes like circles and squares, learning to combine lines. Stage 3. Combining shapes. Children start merging shapes to form designs resembling figures or objects. Stage 4. Complex designs. They create intricate patterns, such as mandalas and sun figures, indicating improved organization of shapes. Stage 5. Human figures. Finally, children draw recognizable figures with heads, bodies, limbs, and facial features. The progression is clear. Scribbling right pointing arrow single shapes right pointing arrow combined shapes right pointing arrow complex designs right pointing arrow recognizable figures. It's important for teachers to recognize this developmental process and allow children to draw freely without expecting immediate realism. Lowenfeld and Britton's theory on children's drawing development, highlighting the stages of creative and mental growth. Their research shows that children's art becomes more realistic as they age, revealing a pattern in skill development, similar to Kellogg's findings. Let's keep these key points in mind as we continue. Lowenfeld and Britton's theory explores children's artistic development through identifiable stages that reflect their cognitive and emotional growth. Their emphasis on the increasing realism in children's artwork highlights the connection between art and individual expression. This progression is crucial for understanding child development, suggesting that these stages may also apply to other learning areas. Now, let's look at Lowenfeld and Britton's theory. This slide shows two stages of children's scribbling. First is the disordered and random scribbling stage, around 1.5 to 2.5 years old. At this stage, children are mainly exploring. They are discovering, what can I do by moving this crayon or tool on the paper? Their marks are simple, and they have limited control over their fingers and hands. Next is the controlled scribbling stage, around 2 to 3 years old. Now, children have better control over their movements. Their marks become smaller and more organized. They may repeat the same movements and create different types and directions of lines. They also begin to watch what they are doing and keep their marks within the drawing area. We may see more loops and swirls in their scribbling. So, the main difference is, disordered scribbling equals exploration with limited control. Controlled scribbling equals better control, organization, and more intentional marks. The important point is that scribbling is part of children's artistic development. Teachers should give children opportunities to explore drawing materials without expecting a recognizable picture. Now, let's look at the next two stages, named scribbling and pre-schematic. First, we have the named scribbling stage, around 3 to 3.5 years old. At this stage, children spend more time making marks and begin to give names to their scribbles. They may connect their scribbles to something they know in their environment. For example, a child may make some lines and say, "This is my mummy." The drawing may not look like a mummy to us, but it has meaning to the child. Children also have better motor control, more variety in their lines, and become more intentional about where they place their marks. Next is the pre-schematic stage, around 4 to 7 years old. Here, children begin to use symbols to represent people, objects, or ideas. Their drawings become more recognizable, but the size and position of objects may still be unusual. For example, a child may draw a person using a large circle for the head and lines for the body and legs. So, the main difference is, named scribbling. Children give meaning to their scribbles. Pre-schematic. Children begin using symbols to represent real things. This shows how children's drawings gradually become more meaningful and representational as their development progresses. Next is the pre-schematic stage, around 4 to 7 years old. At this stage, children begin to draw people and familiar objects using simple symbols. They may start with a head and feet figure and gradually add arms, body, fingers, hair, clothes, and other details. Their drawings are based on what they know, feel, or experience, so the size, shape, and color may not look realistic. Children also begin to draw things that are important to them, such as family, pets, and friends, and they enjoy talking about their artwork. So, the key idea is, children use symbols and drawings to represent things that are meaningful to them. Next is the schematic stage, around 7 to 9 years old. At this stage, children develop and repeat their own symbols or forms to represent things they know. Their drawings become more organized and detailed. They may use a baseline and skyline to show space. Children draw based on what they know, not only what they see. They may also show different views of an object, such as inside and outside. Human figures are often made using repeated geometric shapes, with more details and decoration. So, the key idea is, children develop their own drawing patterns or schemas to represent what they understand about the world. Now, we move to the later stages of Lowenfeld and Britton's theory. First, dawning realism 9 to 12 years old. Children become more aware of details. Their drawings become smaller, less distorted, and more realistic. They may also become more self-conscious about their artwork. Next, pseudonaturalistic or realistic drawing 12 to 14 years old. Children become more critical of their own drawings. Their artwork shows more detail, depth, and proportion. Cartoons and caricatures may also become popular. Finally, artistic decision 14 to 17 years old. At this stage, adolescents begin to develop their own artistic style. Some may continue with realistic drawing, while others use art to express personal ideas. So, the main progression is, more detail right pointing arrow, more realism right pointing arrow, personal artistic style. Now, let's look at Schirmacher's stages of artistic development from birth to 8 years. There are 4 main stages. 1. Manipulating the media 1 to 2 years. Children explore art materials through scribbling and mark making. The focus is on exploring the material, not the final product. 2. Making shapes 2 to 4 years. Children begin making shapes, outlines, and symbols that have personal meaning. For example, a circle may represent a person. 3. Pictorial art 4 to 6 years. Children's drawings become more recognizable. They begin drawing people, animals, houses, and other familiar objects. 4. Realistic art 5 to 8 years. Children start paying more attention to details, colors, shapes, and reality. Their drawings become more realistic. So, remember the progression. Explore right pointing arrow, make shapes right pointing arrow, create recognizable pictures right pointing arrow, draw more realistically. As teachers, we should provide age-appropriate art experiences and allow children to develop at their own pace. Young children begin their art journey through sensorimotor actions, exploring materials like crayons and Play-Doh. Their art often appears as random scribbles, which, while seeming messy to adults, are exciting and special to the young artists. Scribbling allows children to express themselves and enjoy creating marks. They may even name their scribbles, showcasing their creativity and imagination. Manipulating art materials is crucial for their learning and self-expression. This slide discusses the artistic development of young preschoolers, highlighting their refinement of basic shapes into complex forms. Key points include creation of mandalas and progression to suns and stick figures, reflecting their understanding of the world. Emphasis on faces in early drawings, where children create personal symbols that may not resemble recognizable objects but hold meaning for them. Focus on the joy of creating rather than the final result, as children explore colors, shapes, and forms, showcasing their creativity and imagination. The process and enjoyment of art are the main takeaways. As children transition to older preschool and early school age years, their art becomes more recognizable as they begin to plan and add details to their work. While their use of color, shape, and size may still appear random, some children focus on specific themes, illustrating their interest in representation. This stage is marked by a blend of creativity and the desire for their art to be understood and appreciated by others, despite their ongoing development of skills to capture the three-dimensional world accurately. This slide highlights how school-age children strive for photographic realism in their art, focusing on details like size, color, and depth. While aiming to reflect reality, they often become self-critical and feel pressure from external opinions. Many lack the guidance to continue exploring art, with some giving up due to self-doubt. Encouragement during this crucial period can significantly impact their artistic development. Arts and multiple intelligence. Next, we explore Howard Gardner's concept of multiple intelligences, highlighting that intelligence encompasses various abilities important to culture. Gardner suggests we all possess different intelligences, such as numerical skills or artistic expression. Recognizing these diverse talents fosters respect and support for individual strengths. In education, this understanding can enhance learning by creating varied activities for each type of intelligence, allowing children to develop their unique skills. Since all children learn differently, assessments should be flexible and creative. This slide shows Gardner's multiple intelligences. It explains that children can be smart in different ways. There are 8 types: bodily kinesthetic, learning through body and movement; musical rhythmic, learning through music and rhythm; interpersonal, learning through people and social interaction; visual spatial, learning through pictures, art, and space; verbal linguistic, learning through words and language; logical mathematical, learning through numbers, patterns, and problem solving; intrapersonal, understanding oneself and personal strengths; naturalist, understanding nature, animals, and the environment. The key idea is that every child has different strengths and interests. As educators, we should provide different types of activities so children have opportunities to learn and express themselves in different ways. Bodily kinesthetic. Art involves using hands and body movements, which develops motor skills and coordination. Musical rhythmic. Children can create instruments, make sounds, or create art while listening to music. Interpersonal. Children can talk about their artwork, share materials, and work together on group art projects. Visual spatial. Art helps children use pictures, shapes, and symbols. Teachers can provide different art materials and display children's artwork. The main idea is that art can support different ways of learning and help children develop their strengths and interests. Thank you for listening, and I see you on our next unit.